Hey guys, Tom here, Green Mountain Projects, and I got a video for you today for what's in these boxes. Premium leather seat covers from a company called Coverland. Coverland is a company that produces leather seat covers that, one, are fairly priced, they appear to be high quality, and they are custom fitment, work with airbags, and if you have the side airbags in the seats. They sent me out this package. I basically got a set for the front as well as my crew cab rear seats, which is the 60-40 split seats that just fold down. So super excited to get these in my truck. I got an older pair of seat covers in there. I've had them for a handful of years. Their appearance is waning. So I'm hoping that these are going to outdo them and last a lot longer. Let's get to it. All right, so we got here. We got our front seats. These are F20 BKs. I think BK stands for black because that's what I asked for. Whoa! Holy shit. These are nice. These are way nicer than I expected. That's awesome. Sometimes when you see the ads on like Instagram and Facebook and stuff, they look like, factory level grade. And you're just like, there's no way it's actually like that in person. There are some brands that do come through like that, and this is one of them. I will say, first impression, looks really good. I think this is the lumbar support right here that I'm touching. It's got like a nice thick, really thick padded section that goes right down in that lumbar area. And God, I got a bad back, so that's gonna be sweet. Super stoked. And when you're opening this, if you're gonna do it with a knife like I am, don't cut your seat covers. That's just, you're ruining the vibe right from the beginning. God, they smell so new. I like it. All right. So these things literally look like legit factory leather seat covers. Like, look at that. Look at the detail. I love this lumbar support thing. That's just got me so hyped. Just, looking at this thing, the side, it's basically, it goes all the way around the seat. It's not just some like flap over the top and the back thing with like, a little strap. That's like what I have now. And this is a full, like, you're gonna friggin' pick this thing up and slide it all the way over the top of the seat. So this is here's your seat pad. Wait a second. There's like a pocket here, right between your legs. Interesting. Got, it's gonna come down the complete side. It's gonna go all the way under and tuck in. It's got some good padding in it too. This is a more rugged material than I've seen on most seats. This is, probably gonna actually last. Phenomenal. And here's your headrest right here. Oh, what do you know? It's a full surround headrest with front, back, and sides. It's basically got Velcro, so it'll go underneath. Velcro's to itself. You can get it nice and snug. Make sure it fits your head. Rests beautifully. These are nice. Thick, well-sewn material. I'm a fan. Got this nice stretchy material so you have a nice tight fit. Basically the stretchy material, it's like a spandexy, but it's very thick. It's not gonna rip. It feels durable. It's like industrial yoga pant material. All right, these also came with these clips and some D-rings, cover installer. It's like a trim tool, but for the cover. It's always a perk when they include things that make your install go smooth. We got these clip things. They're called chucks. So we have chucks. And basically what these things are going to be used for is, securing the cover like underneath the seat and whatnot, because it'll have some straps to help pull it tight. And there's these hooks. You'd be taking these chucks here and you can slide them through the little seam things on the chucks so that you can work them into the center of the chuck like this, and then you'd push this through underneath between the seat and the back cushion of your actual seat, and then this thing kind of rotates out and holds it like this to keep it tight. I will say, now that I'm looking at these straps actually look pretty, they don't feel like kind of the really low grade ones you get that like you stretch them out enough and they kind of just go like wet noodle. They have good memory. They go right back to the length that they were designed to be. We'll say first impressions, knocking it out of the park. Thing looks well put together and made. Just like the front, we have got another full bag of chucks. So we've got more straps with hooks on them already. We got another installation tool because you can buy the front and the rear seats separately. You don't have to buy them as a full package. So that's why they're two separate boxes and they come with everything you need in each box. This looks like your center panel. That's a seat cushion. It's got Velcro on it, so you can kind of link them together. Another backrest. And these are the seats. This has two sides that cover the front face of the seat cushion itself. All right, guys, so overall, first impressions of the seat covers, I'm very impressed with the quality. Everything from the actual appearance, it looks, like a leather car seat. It doesn't look like a fake leather car seat cover. It looks like a leather car seat, upholstered car seat. We'll see what it looks like when it's on, but basically it looks great. It's got padding to it. It's very durable. The materials are high quality, I can tell. Everything from the straps to the backing and the Velcro that's used on it for the connection points. Check this out. These seat covers, they gotta be 3-ish years old, I'd say, but you can just, they're so much thinner and flimsier than, oh, I just ripped that one. Yeah, they're just falling apart. Something else I want to show you here is, and this is a big reason why you want to invest in a seat cover that actually pads not only your comfort, but the actual seat material. So you can see here, lifting this up, taking a look at my cloth seats that I haven't seen in a while. The fabric looks it looks worn, as if, from friction. That's not ideal. A good seat cover should not allow that to happen, which is a huge plus to these Coverland seats because they have a really good padding underneath them compared to this. All right, guys, we have the rear section of these seat covers installed. I must say these things look, pretty phenomenal. The rear is not as kind of custom fit as the front seats are because they're not bucket seats. You can't really get behind the rear seats of these because they don't fold forward. So you're kind of left with just basically putting something on the face. The bottoms, obviously, they wrap around, the front edge. They don't go all the way under and, hit the underside, as you can see here. Basically, I do need to clean these up a bit, but I basically have all of the straps coming under here and cinching against each other here. If you are looking for something that covers this portion for when your seats are up, if you got dogs or something, you're either going to want to look at some other type of dog cover that goes on it when the seats are up, or a different seat cover that would hug and go all the way under to here. Other than this, if you're looking for protection from your actual seat fabric from being sat on and on top, these things are perfect. And they've got this good Velcro, so when you keep your seats down, you can keep it Velcroed, keeps them all nice and tight. The headrests, there's a flap that goes up and over the headrests and then comes back behind. It has Velcro, which works really good. They're definitely they're padded, they're very comfy. It adds, a little bit extra comfort to the seat, which is pretty sweet. The appearance of the back seat of my truck right now is 10 times better than it was because it gets rid of that gray cloth seat. They're just super fresh and clean, they're super wipeable. I got a car seat I usually have in my back seat, and stuff I found under it was pretty horrifying and took me a pretty long time to scrub and get extracted from the cloth. With these seats, you won't have to worry about that. Overall, super easy to install. Let's get to the front seats. All right, when you're installing your front seat covers, first thing you want to do is pull out your headrests. So what we're going to want to do is get the seat cushion installed first. This is pretty simple. This is your seat cushion right here. The bottom side of it has, this big pocket. There's also 2 of these straps in here for your hooks. And then you got 2 straps in the back that you'll push basically through the cushion right here so that you can either put a chuck in there or a hook as well. So we're going to take this. So I am going to take my hooks. I'm going to put them on the straps. I kind of folded the pocket up and over itself so I can get these hooks out and the straps, and then I'm going to put these strapped underneath. There's plenty of things to catch on down here. Now that's holding it a lot tighter, so now we're going to pull this in here, tuck it into there. Grab 2 chucks, feed your strap through it. If you come around to the back here, there's this flap here. So if you look under here, there's little white hooks that these 2 straps, the white hooks are right up here. They'll be on that, so pull those off. That gives you access to the back. So you can see I just pulled out the chucks from the old seat covers. And what I'm gonna do is reach up in here, find the new seat cover chucks. This also gives you the ability, if you wanted to put the hooks on this, you could then pull it down here and hook it even tighter. All right, we got the front seat cushion completely on. I mean, just look at the difference that does from those cloth seats. Way better. All right, now it's time for the seat back, which this thing looks awesome. What I'm gonna do here is this goes over top of the seat. Point this forward as much as possible. There are 2 straps here, which will also go to chucks. You're gonna be putting them through the seat on the bottom the same way you did with the bottom seat cushion. So let's get to it. Now we're gonna move to the back. We're on the back and make sure the top is pulled snug. Now we're on the back side here. Keep pulling it down. Come under here, which we should find the chucks. So make sure those are out so they're holding it. So I'm actually gonna take this chuck, pull the chuck off of it, and then I'm going to put a hook on here so that I can hook it tighter underneath the seat so it looks better. Got my hook, so I'm gonna find a spot under here that I can hook it to. Those there. Now at this point, once that's done, you can then put these back on those white hooks so it'll hold that flap in the back down. This lumbar support is just super nice. Now all we got left to do is that headrest. I think I'm gonna put it back in. Just like that. I'm gonna take the headrest. You can pull this forward. I'm gonna stretch it right over. Now you've got your flap under here, which has got Velcro on it. So you can pull that underneath, tuck it up behind, and then it Velcros on the inside of the back side of the headrest. That looks very nice. All right, guys, so we have finished installing these awesome Coverland seat covers, and I must say I'm super pumped with the way they've turned my interior of my truck around a little bit. You know, got rid of those ratty seat covers I had. Now, this leather and stuff, it feels, you know, seems pretty high grade. I'm no leather expert, but I'd say it's pretty nice stuff. The lumbar support on these is super nice. I really like these headrests, how they secure over the whole top of the headrest itself, hugging on all sides. The way that these fit on the seats themselves, it's like almost perfectly custom. You know, nothing's going to be super perfect unless you're literally taking, you know, the upholstery off the seats and replacing it with, you bought used like leather upholstery that literally, you know, is factory that came off of another truck that say got totaled or something, and they're selling it on eBay. As far as getting a seat cover for an absolute fraction of the price of reupholstering your seat, these things are probably the closest thing you can get to, you know, having a legitimate real leather seats. These things also do come in a number of awesome colors, and basically, you know, I went with the black because I like the kind of simple, clean, you know, dark look. You know, I've got a lot of black trim in my truck. The leather on my center console is black, so it kind of made the most sense to go with black instead of change it up and have two different, you know, leather colors. I will say from an install perspective, super simple. You know, you're basically just pulling them over, putting them on, and then you're putting those little straps with either the hook or the chuck on it. But it's super simple. Anyone can do it. I would absolutely recommend these covers to anyone watching. It's a great product. So as part of this video, this is to help promote for their Black Friday sale coming up. Go check out Coverland at the link in the description and get these things for Black Friday. You never get them cheaper, and they're a perfect gift for the holidays. You'll make someone pretty happy. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more like these, and see you later.